Things are happening. MAGA seems to be imploding from within. And oh my goodness, it is a beautiful thing to watch. Just sitting back, watching, taking bets on MTG versus the Trumpster. I've got my money on MTG because she's on the right side of this issue. What are you going to do? Protect a pedophile and get labeled as a pedophile protector for the rest of your political career? Brock and Ellis joins us now live from the upper Hudson River Valley, the beautiful, safe confines of his warm and comfy home in liberal elite world. Brock, us elitists like to sit back and watch MAGA crumble, and we knew this was going to happen. It was just not if, but when. Because there's just too much going on with these folks, especially with the Epstein files, which I told you would be the death of Trump.
You did. I didn't believe you. I thought he was going to be able to suppress them for the entirety. I didn't realize the groundswell of support that would come up for the files. And look, MTG, by the way, is fighting back and clapping back at Trump superbly, right?
Big time.
She looks like the more fit fighter, right? She looks more like the Larry Holmes against the aging Muhammad Ali, right? Like where Trump is just slow and punch drunk and she's dancing around the ring. So, and she didn't shy away from the fight one iota, right? She just came at him
No.
with facts and with policies, and she came really strong. And I know Trump obviously has the entire government behind him. He has a lot of people beholden to him. He has a lot of power, right? Also got idiots like Laura Loomer out there who will, do a lot of the dirty work for him. But I just don't see him bullying MTG. And it doesn't even appear like the Lauren Boebert shakedown worked. It doesn't appear like Nancy Mace has rolled over. He went hard after Thomas Massey last night, and it kind of was almost like comical. Like a guy, this is where we become the manosphere, right? Our mini manosphere. Like, so a guy goes after another guy, like tweeting to his wife that you're going to figure out he's a loser. It's just like, come on, dude, that's not how you fight battles. Like, that's
At
not how
all.
men fight their battles. Like,
No.
you don't be talking to other people's wives over Twitter. I mean,
Ill.
so
Ill.
it feels soft.
Yeah. I mean, he's looked as bad as he's ever looked. This is, his weakest moment. He's got nowhere to go. He's boxed in. He's boxed in. What can he do? What can he say? Except for throwing the other people under the bus.
He's ducking reporters, which tells you he doesn't know
Yes.
what to say. Like
Yep.
he doesn't know what his message is right
Yep.
now. So he's not answering questions on Epstein.
Right. And that's the problem, right? The mob wants answers, and they're not getting them. So, I mean, at this point, it's all over but the crying. What did Yogi Berra say? It's getting late early. This pace cannot continue for 3 years. He's got 3 years left on his so-called regime.
Well, it's going to get worse next week because next week now there's going to be the vote
Right,
on the floor for the
right,
disclosure of the files.
right,
Now, every MAGA House of Representatives congressperson, which is 220 is the number, 219, something like that,
right. Something up in there.
has
Yep.
to decide, okay, they're in a no-win. Am I going to put myself, am I going to go on the other side of Trump, or am I going to get caught being a protector of pedophiles, which is going to crush me going forward in future elections and be a stain on the rest of my career? I'm so glad Hakeem Jeffries has made them vote on this, right?
Yes.
So they're going to have to piss off, they're going to have to either choose their future or Trump today.
Right.
And it's going to be interesting to see whether they shake out, right? It sounded yesterday like it was going to be almost like 100, like 120 to 100, which is an interesting
Right.
split down the middle. So
Right.
Trump can only lash out at so many of them. So after that vote happens, which is all we're going to talk about till the vote happens, it's all we're going to talk about 24 hours after the vote, is then then the gauntlet gets thrown down, and Trump is like, okay, now what's the strategy? How do you keep him and Pam Bondi? How do you keep these files from being turned over to Congress? So
Right.
maybe they're going to play the Democratic investigation. You can't show the files when there's an open investigation game. I just don't think the American people are going to go for it. I think
No.
they're going to. I think they're going to think that's just flimsy and bullshit, and
Yep.
like, no way.
Well, you can't call for an investigation of everybody else and leave yourself out. You know, his name is the only one not on the list. What, they got 20 high-profile names? The 21st is his, and we're going to investigate everybody but you? Like, come on, bro. Like, we're not that dumb, right? We were born at night, but it wasn't last night. And, it just feels like the walls are caving in. It's again, it's not if, but when, right? Because it's only a matter of time before all this stuff gets out. We already know he said he was never in Epstein's house. We already know he's been in, right? Because he saw the girls out there and he was told they were in some mentorship program. Well, dude, you said you had never been in the house. You've been in there. Uh, So, I mean, everything's coming out.
It's all
And
coming out.
it's the most salacious stuff ever. I saw some crazy, post today where they were talking about what he and Bill did together. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, there's some weird shit
Yeah,
there.
there's
I
some
don't know
weird
I don't
stuff
know what's
coming
true.
out.
There's too much out there. I haven't seen it firsthand, so I'm just like
Right.
taking some with a grain of salt. But the fact that he had dinner with Epstein and Mar-a-Lago during his first term as president is sort of like, wait, you cut ties, like, you know. But yet you had Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, Thanksgiving is coming up. That's family and closest friends, right?
Right.
You just have
Right.
Thanksgiving dinner with the random pedophile down the street. You don't just wave that guy in. Come on, it's just weird shit. So yeah, he's caught in a conundrum. The vote's gonna be huge, and they're in panic mode in Tennessee
Right.
right now. It went
Oh,
from
yeah.
0 to like 60 in Tennessee. Now they're worried that this MAGA candidate who is in a plus 20 district is going to get painted as a pedophile protector. And this is sort of the first litmus test for the pedophile protector, you know, offensive by the Dems. And apparently they're throwing a lot of money in it. There's already advertisements going on TV in that district, challenging this rep for why he would be a no vote on the disclosure of the Epstein files.
Right.
And what
And
else can he talk about when that's the topic? You can't get to
yep.
any other policy when that's the topic. Can't talk
No.
about the border. No one even wants to hear about the border.
Right. And you can't pivot away from it.
Can't.
Right.
No, you
And
can't.
I mean, you don't have a good answer for it. You can't pivot away from it. And the public wants to know, what are you doing to get those files out? What is going to be your vote? They want to know what's going to be your vote and what are you going to do to protect it, young women, especially white women, from having this happen to them again.
I think they're all going to pivot to voting for disclosure because they're going to realize it's an avalanche, and politically they're going to move there, and then the ball is going to move over to like Bondi's court. That like, how come she's not turning them over? And then that's going to be a different fight, and the Republican Congress people just have to get away from this issue, right? Like they have to just pretend they're on the right side of the issue one way or another. I just don't think they can all paint themselves in a corner of saying, no, we don't want to see these files about pedophilia. And
Yeah.
and the Megyn Kelly strategy of parsing between 14 years old and 5 years old clearly didn't work.
No.
You may have seen the Alan Dershowitz strategy of going on and trying to defend Epstein as not being a pedophile because the woman was 17 or this, he's been doing this for years, right?
Right.
The underwear on or off argument, like that gets you nowhere. So like that's not working. So they've thrown a few. It's almost like, scouts out there, stepped on the landmine. So they realize, okay, that's not an argument we're going to go with. We'll scrap that one. Thanks,
Right.
Megan. Thanks,
Right.
Megan. But no one else is
Right.
coming. No one else is making that argument behind you. So they're going to keep trying a bunch of different arguments, but I just don't see one that's good enough to satisfy 80% of the American people that want the files disclosed. And out
Right.
of the 80%, 40% definitively think Trump, pretty much we know that Trump's in there. And maybe
Right.
the other 40% are convinced he's not in there. So therefore they want to see the files.
Right.
They're going to be in for a little bit of a surprise one of these days.
Yeah.
They may never admit it, but if some of the shit on our message board is any indication, there are some people so dug in that there's absolutely no way they will ever acknowledge that
Right.
Trump was in there.
Yeah. And we all look again, like you said, we all know he's in there. Um, to the degree of what his behavior is the only question, right? Like, look, like you said, I think it was last night or night before. 26 credible allegations of sexual assault by
Adults, yeah.
grown women, right? We also have previously heard rumors, innuendo, and scuttlebutt about his penchant for young girls, and there was that allegation where he threw money at the girl and told her to get an abortion, and that was an underage um, young
Yeah.
lady as well.
Plus the stories he himself told about, oh, I used to go
Right,
in the dressing room of Miss Teen
right.
USA. And that's why I bought it so I could sneak
Oof.
into the dressing room. So like his own words betray him. And then we had Katie Johnson. I mean, she filed the suit.
Right,
I guess the question is whether or not he raped 14-year-olds or not.
right.
Um, I guess that's the line. But I mean, the answer is probably yes.
Megan
The
Kelly said it's
answer,
not so bad.
yeah, the answer is probably yes. And
Yeah.
I
Good
mean, yeah.
gracious.
So he's trapped.
Yeah.
Is there a way out? You're arguing there's no way out.
There's no way out.
He's gonna have to face this and try to bulldoze through it and tell everyone it doesn't matter, like
Right.
that was in the past, or I've done like he tried to do in the MTG text
Yep.
that I've done so much for America. Why are you doing this to me? Look at all the greatness I've done. This is all a
Yep.
game and a hoax.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's a tricky spot, but boy, it's unfolding quickly. Mark, you were dead on, man. I didn't think I thought these files they were going to suppress them and we weren't going to hear from them.
Nah.
Shit, this has come out fast. Like
And thank
it's
goodness.
game on this week.
And thank goodness, because this is finally the impeachment talk that we've been wanting,
Yeah,
right? This could get us there.
I'm drinking vino in my comfortable liberal
Turn it
um,
up. Your liberal
limousine
elite
liberal
living room.
having a night in the country.
There you go. But listen, this could get us where we'd like to go, because there is no way this information can come out and he sit for 3 years in the presidency, right? Because impeach and remove could be the message in 26, right? Because he cannot not allow elections to go forward in 2026. I mean, there's just no way.
Okay. Um, Look, there was already a protest. That protest did happen today in DC. They were out there all afternoon, right? And this was an impeach Trump protest. It wasn't massive, it wasn't overwhelming, but the numbers were pretty good. There's also an
Yes.
insight. So, like, that's to me, like that's where all the protests from here on out go, right? Like
Right.
there's no walking back from that. You don't start protesting impeachment and then step back and just protest like some no kings ever again, right? Like
Right.
that's like we've passed the Rubicon. Like now it's game on. Now it's protesting with a strategy and with an end goal. We're no longer just making noise and trying to show force and to show each other, that we're not alone in, our anger about what's going on here. So
Right.
that's from now on, that's where everything's going to be. And I believe those numbers are just going to start to explode. I mean, and think about it. Can you believe that like there's these Comey trials and Letitia James and all this? Now they're going after Swalwell on some
Swalwell.
mortgage shit. Oh yeah, that's really where the courts and the sandwich guy. Oh yeah, that's where our Justice Department should be focused, not on the Epstein files, the largest pedophile ring in world history. But
Right.
yeah, oh, we're worried about like Letitia James' second home and whether or not she got a $7,200 benefit from the way she, filled out the paperwork. Come on.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
no
it's
fucking way.
ridiculous.
No one cares about that shit. And what Trump doesn't know, that I believe strongly, is that on the left, I don't know if I can speak for the entire left. We don't give a shit about whether Bill Clinton is in there or not. And if he's in
No.
there, fucking cuff him and toss him away. He's fucking ancient
See ya.
history. We haven't seen him in years. Like, whatever. We don't care. We're not defending Bill fucking Clinton.
Right.
Like, so going after him with some investigation is like, no, we don't care. Go ahead. Have that
At all.
investigation. If he's in there, good. There's no one that needs to be protected. They're in there. Let the system take its course, right? Like
We could care less.
we could care.
We could care less. Prosecute people who deserve to be prosecuted. We're not looking the other way.
Whatever. If
So what, Bill
Obama's in
Clinton's got a
there,
lot for
cuff him
America?
and throw Obama's in there. There's no sacred cow. George
No,
Soros, throw Soros in there. We
absolutely
just
not.
don't care. Biden's in there. We know they're not. We're just throwing out names. It just doesn't matter to us. Like
Right.
it's rule of law. If just we'll play the hand as it's dealt. Let's
Right.
see it all. Let's see it all.
Right. And don't put them in club feds like you're doing with Ghislaine. Ghislaine's still getting, preferential treatment. And she's still, dude, still pissing off the inmates at Club Fed with her special privileges. I don't understand how it's happening. I really don't.
Elizabeth Holmes getting pissed off in there. She's not getting.
Right? With her
Well,
black turtleneck on.
Trump floated a pardon on Air Force One. Was it last night or 2 days ago? I think it went over
For
like a lead
Maxwell?
balloon. He just threw it out there to the press because he was just kind of flexing his muscles like he can do it. It's like, fuck yeah, we know
Right.
you can do it. We're watching all these
Right.
pardons. These pardons are absurd. You're pardoning like 10 criminals a day. Like every fucking
Really.
cryptocurrency scammer has been pardoned already. Every Jan Sixer, and they're like getting second and third pardons at this point because those fuckers are
Right.
like committing shit left and right.
Because they're losers.
You know,
And, eh, look, we could ride this horse all day. We could beat this drum till we're blue in the face. But the rubber's about to meet the road.
it's coming. It's coming. Meanwhile, back at
I'd
the
like,
ranch, like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'd like to call your attention to an amazing interview that I heard today between Jackie Alemany and Boy Camelot, Mr. Schlossberg
Oh,
over in
really?
NY12. Great interview. I would urge you to check it out.
Was he good?
Oh, very good. Very good. He talked about his ability to take his influencer status as a Harvard grad, both with a law and a business degree, and understand legislation and understand how to do good for America because he's always been focused on being a political activist. So he's not just another influencer, and he is got something special. When you hear him talk, but he sounds like a leader. Now I know that NY12 field is getting crowded and more people are probably coming, but I would urge you to listen to this
Okay,
young
I'll
man.
watch it. I'll give him a shot. I've seen some weird shit he's done, like fitness. He had a little some RFK. He had some weird vibes in some of his shit. But all right, look, I told you I'm hearing them all out, and hey, look, it's a communications game now, so we need young people who can speak and move and
Said the
and
same
break
thing.
and
Yep.
break through, right? Because so many of these
Yep.
politicians can't break through, right? We're kind of like, where are
They
you?
don't even
Where are you? And it's
understand
like
it.
we don't want to hear from them. Like think about like when Chuck Schumer tries to get up in front of the crowd and does like his little thing, and he looks like a old man who should just be whisked off to like a fucking
Dude,
retirement
go
home,
somewhere.
right?
Yeah, we really want him to go somewhere. And but Schlossberg was talking today about, you know, that very point, helping people understand how to communicate where they are, right? Because, you know, the old town hall thing doesn't give you the reach that social media does,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's nice to
Yeah.
have a packed house, but social media can get people in their bed at night. You know, you don't need them to come out. They don't have to do anything except pick up their phone and, you know, open up the app. So, you know, the fact that he's got that kind of reach gives him a leg up on all his competition. And he talked about riding that 79th Street bus from one side of the district to the other. You know, he knows that district well, and he understands what it takes to be a leader because he's been living it his entire life.
Wow,
You
he
know,
rides
and
that bus. He rides that crosstown bus, huh? Come on.
oh yeah,
I don't believe it. I told you I've been on that bus like 2, 3 times. That bus fucking, it does get across the park pretty quick, but other than that, it fucking sucks. It takes fucking ever. All those buses take forever. There's my New York snob in me, man. Whew, the bus in the city takes forever. And Donnie might as well make it free because that ride takes forever. It stops everywhere. It's always a red light. You can't get anywhere. It's like I got to get out and walk. All right. I can't even say I'd see him on the
I'm
bus
just
because
saying.
I wouldn't go on the bus. So I get kudos to him for riding the bus at 79th Street bus.
Well,
That
give
was
him a
my old
shot.
district.
That's
I
the
lived on
elitist
I
in you.
lived on the Upper West Side, so that was my district.
Right.
But
Okay.
I was not
Yeah.
politically aware back then because I wouldn't have. I fucking can't believe Jerry Nadler was the guy. You know, my head was so far up my ass, I didn't even realize it was fucking Nadler. That
Jerry
was that
Nadler.
was my guy.
Come on,
Jesus
bro.
Christ! I
Come
know
on,
I
bro.
fucked up. Never again. That was the old days, man. I wasn't paying attention.
All right,
Oh,
give me a quick hit before we get out of here on a Saturday. Let's get out of here early tonight. Blowing the
oh
whistle
God! Now
early.
you go first on it. Mine already popped out of my head.
Okay, LSU. You saw they fired Brian Kelly. Why is the
Yeah.
governor involved in the search for the new football coach at LSU? Did you see Ryan Clark read him the riot act on Sports Center or First Take, whatever show he's on with Stephen A. Loudmouth? The governor of Louisiana is weighing in on who should be the football coach at LSU. Why? All the problems you got in Louisiana, and you're talking about the football coach and who should be hired, and they're trying to hose Coach Kelly because they don't want to give him that, you know,
They don't want to pay
50,
him out
60
that
million.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to pay him that go
They
away
love
fee.
firing. They love hiring them, locking them in for all these years, but then firing them and not wanting to pay it out. It's like, you know,
No can
shouldn't
do,
have signed the
buddy. Got the
contract. But I'll
contract.
tell you why. Two things. I think in old Roman days they said bread and circuses, right? Keep the
Right.
citizens focused on bread and circuses while the governing people take all the riches. Right, so that's number one. You gotta have a good football team so that people aren't angry and riled up and complaining about shit. So that's
Right.
that's that's number one. Number two is college sports is such huge business that
Yeah.
LSU football is probably one of the top 10 businesses in the entire state of Louisiana,
Oh,
and
it's got to be.
they need that stadium filled, and they need the TV rights, and they need the money so they can pay the players now to be competitive, and it's out of
Did you see their new
control.
locker room?
Right now, it's
Did
out
you
of
see their
control. College sports are out of control. There's no ruling. It's worse than pro sports because pro sports have rules around it and
Right.
governing
Right.
bodies and agreements amongst teams. Like college sports now is the wild, wild west.
Wild
Like it's
West.
just money
Yeah.
flying everywhere, players flying around, coaches zipping from team to team. It's huge business. And
Yeah.
it's state pride, right? LSU doesn't want to keep losing Alabama and
Hey,
Georgia.
money money is not the issue. If you take a look at LSU's locker room, they've got beds in each player's stall. Take a look at it. It's insane. Insane.
It's what it takes to recruit the best players.
No doubt.
Hey,
No
my play
doubt.
of the
And that's
my play of the day, quick hit is: did you see Ariana Grande and that Cynthia Erivo on the red carpet somewhere for like Wicked Witch
oh, I
2?
missed that.
wicked too. And a fan or agitator came jumping out of the crowd, and Cynthia Revo looked like an outside linebacker in the NFL getting off the mark to get around the corner, sprinting across the red carpet to basically tackle this guy so that he couldn't get to Ariana Grande. Yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
impressive. Absolutely
I
impressive.
gotta
So I'll
check
give it
that
black
out.
black woman of the day, saving the little white woman. She was there, fucking cat like quickness, like
Nice. You gotta love it.
right
Cool. I'm
on.
gonna have to Google that.
Yeah, you gotta watch the clip.
Definitely.
She moved like, yeah, she looked like an athlete out there. She was on the prowl. She's like
Good
MTG
stuff.
going after Trump.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
so that's all I had for today.
Cool.
Everything on my scroll. Oh yeah, speaking of the scroll, one of my business partners, we came up on her feed. We came up on her
Oh,
feed. She's
did
not a
you?
subscriber because I didn't want my worlds to collide. And she sent me a screenshot. It's like, what the hell is this? Came up on her feed. I said, scroll on by. Just scroll on by. Don't worry about it. This is just for MAGA maniacs and and the hardcore left. It's ready for. We're prepping for civil war over here. You
No
don't
doubt. Guns up, baby.
don't turn in unless you're
That's
really ready for this.
hilarious. That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, Broham.
All right, good stuff. All right,
All
Mark.
right.
Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Always a
Stay loud
pleasure.
and proud. We'll talk
All right.
tomorrow. All
Shalom.
righty. Peace.